light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Today is a time of special celebration. Give thanks for mercy and the love of God. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven you. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, say, the light has come. I have forgiven you. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. And if anyone tempts you to pull you back into darkness, say, the light has come. I have forgiven you. Say that all day today. Every few minutes, tell yourself, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining me. I decided to sit here in the woods on my place. Here in another couple weeks, I'm noticing the buds are starting to swell. We're going to get a lot of leaves coming up in the next couple weeks. So, the light has come. Winter's almost over. The light has come. Lesson 75 in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles this year. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. And we're ready for Lesson 75 for Sunday, March the 16th of 2025. The light has come. The light has come. You are healed and you can heal. The light has come. You are saved and you can save. You are at peace and you bring peace with you wherever you go. Darkness and turmoil and death have disappeared. The light has come. Today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. There are no dark dreams now. The light has come. Today the time of light begins for you and everyone. It is a new era in which a new world is born. The old one has left no trace upon it in its passing. Today we see a different world because the light has come. Our exercises for today will be happy ones, in which we offer thanks for the passing of the old and the beginning of the new. No shadows from the past remain to darken our sight and hide the world forgiveness offers us. Today we will accept the new world as what we want to see. We will be given what we desire. We will to see the light. The light has come. Our longer practice periods will be devoted to looking at the world that our forgiveness shows us. And our longer practice periods, which was to have two each day. Yeah, and like I said, he said set your time whenever you want. I'm encouraging you to do it first thing when you get up and right before you go to bed at night. But he's he's letting you pick the 2 times but take 10 to 15 minutes. He hadn't said that in a few lessons, but he said we'd be doing that for a while. Our longer practice periods will be devoted to looking at the world that our forgiveness shows us. This is what we want to see, and only this. Our single purpose makes our goal inevitable. Today, the real world rises before us in gladness to be seen at last. Sight is given us now that the light has come. We do not want to see the ego shadow on the world today. We see the light, and in it we see heaven's reflection lie across the world. Begin the longer practice periods by telling yourself the glad tidings of your release. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Dwell not upon the past today. Keep a completely open mind, washed of all past ideas and clean of every concept you have made. You have forgiven the world today. You can look upon it now as if you never saw it before. You do not know yet what it looks like. You merely wait to have it shown to you. While you wait, repeat several times slowly and in complete patience, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. Having that open mind, we're learning to practice forgiveness. So we're now entitled to be able to see what forgiveness shows us. Realize that your forgiveness entitles you to vision. This is paragraph 7. Understand that the Holy Spirit never fails to give the gift of sight to the forgiving. Believe He will not fail you now. You have forgiven the world. He will be with you as you watch and wait. He will show you what true vision sees. It is His will, and you have joined with Him. Wait patiently for Him. He will be there. The light has come. You have forgiven the world. Tell Him you know you cannot fail because you trust in Him. And tell yourself you wait in certainty to look upon the world He promised you. From this time forth you will see differently. Today the light has come, and you will see the world that has been promised you since time began, and in which is the end of time ensured. The shorter practice periods, too, will be joyful reminders of your release. Remind yourself every quarter of an hour or so that today is a time of special celebration. Give thanks for mercy and the love of God. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely. Be confident that on this day there is a new beginning. Without the darkness of the past upon your eyes, you cannot fail to see today. And what you see will be so welcome that you will gladly extend today forever. Say then, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. And should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven you. We dedicate this day to the serenity in which God would have you be. Keep it in your awareness of yourself and see it everywhere today as we celebrate the beginning of your vision and the sight of the real world, which has come to replace the unforgiven world you thought was real. Okay, well, realize that your forgiveness entitles you to vision. The light has come. Okay, well, let's go back and take a look at our text reading. He wants us to say that to ourselves about every 15 minutes today. So, often tell yourself, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has to come. Vision has to come. Our eyes are opened. It has to be because we've forgiven the world. It's just the natural effect that follows forgiveness. Okay, in chapter 9, the acceptance of the atonement, ready for Roman numeral 3, the correction of error. The alertness of the ego to the errors of other egos is not the kind of vigilance the Holy Spirit would have you maintain. He wants you to be vigilant only for God and His kingdom. Well, he's saying alertness of the ego to the errors of other egos is not the kind of vigilance the Holy Spirit would have you maintain. Egos are critical in terms of the kind of, in quotes, sense they stand for. They understand this kind of sense because it is sensible to them. To the Holy Spirit, it makes no sense at all. Paragraph 2. To the ego, it is kind and right and good to point out errors and correct them. This makes perfect sense to the ego, which is unaware of what errors are and what correction is. Errors are of the ego, and correction of errors lies in the relinquishment of the ego. When you correct a brother, you are telling him that he is wrong. He may be making no sense at the time, and it is certain that if he is speaking from the ego, he will not be making sense. But your task is still to tell him he is right. You do not tell him this verbally if he is speaking foolishly. He needs correction at another level because his error is at another level. He is still right because he is a son of God. His ego is always wrong, no matter what it says or does. Paragraph 3. If you point out the errors of your brother's ego, you must be seeing through yours, because the Holy Spirit does not perceive his errors. This must be true, since there is no communication between the ego and the Holy Spirit. The ego makes no sense, and the Holy Spirit does not attempt to understand anything that arises from it. Since he does not understand it, he does not judge it, knowing that nothing the ego makes means anything. Can we get to that same place and think the way the Holy Spirit does and not see our brother's errors and look beyond them to a higher level, a more real, truthful place where they're always right? When you react at all to errors, you are not listening to the Holy Spirit. He has merely disregarded them, and if you attend to them, you are not hearing Him. If you do not hear Him, you are listening to your ego and making as little sense as the brother whose errors you perceive. This cannot be correction, yet it is more than merely a lack of correction for him. It is the giving up of correction in yourself. Paragraph 5. When a brother behaves insanely, you can heal him only by perceiving the sanity in him. If you perceive his errors and accept them, you are accepting yours. If you want to give yours, your errors, over to the Holy Spirit, you must do this with His. Unless this becomes the one way in which you handle all errors, you cannot understand how all errors are undone. How is this different from telling you that what you teach, you learn? To have peace, teach peace to learn it. Remember it? Your brother is as right as you are. And if you think he is wrong, you are condemning yourself. You cannot correct yourself. This paragraph 6. You cannot correct yourself. Is it possible then for you to correct another? Yet you can see him truly because it is possible for you to see yourself truly. It is not up to you to change your brother, but merely to accept him as he is. His errors do not come from the truth that is in him, and only this truth is yours. His errors cannot change this, and can have no effect at all on the truth in you. To perceive errors in anyone and to react to them as if they were real is to make them real to you. Wow. Listen to that. To perceive errors in anyone and to react to them as if they were real is to make them real to you. You will not escape paying the price for this, not because you are being punished for it, but because you are following the wrong guide and therefore will lose your way. Paragraph 7. Your brother's errors are not of him any more than yours are of you. Accept his errors as real, and you have attacked yourself. If you would find your way and keep it, see only truth beside you, for you walk together. See the truth in your brother. See the Holy Spirit in your brother. See the reality in your brother. Honestly say, Namaste. I see the holiness in you, and honor it. The Holy Spirit in you forgives all things in you and in your brother. His errors are forgiven with yours. Atonement is no more separate than love. Atonement cannot be separate because it comes from love. Any attempt you make to correct a brother means that you believe correction by you is possible. And this can only be the arrogance of the ego. Correction is of God, who does not know of arrogance. And the last paragraph for this section, 8. The Holy Spirit forgives everything because God created everything. The Holy Spirit forgives everything because God created everything. Do not undertake His function, or you will forget yours. Accept only the function of healing in time, because that is what time is for. Accept only the function of what? Healing in time, for that is what time is for. God gave you the function to create in eternity. You do not need to learn that, but you do need to learn to want it. For that all learning was made. You do not need to learn that. Okay, let's read it again. God gave you the function to create in eternity. You do not need to learn that, but you do need to learn to want it. For that all learning was made. This is the Holy Spirit's use of an ability that you do not need, but that you made. Give it to Him. You do not understand how to use it, the ability to learn. Let the Holy Spirit teach you how to use it. He will teach you how to see yourself without condemnation by learning how to look on everything without it. Condemnation will then not be real to you, and all your errors will be forgiven. That's what our lesson's about today. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Listen to it again. Let's just read the last paragraph once again. The Holy Spirit forgives everything because God created everything. Do not undertake His function, or you will forget your function. Accept only the function of healing in time, because that is what time is for. God gave you the function to create in eternity. You do not need to learn that, but you do need to learn to want it. For that all learning was made. To learn to want. All learning was made so that you would learn to want your true function that you don't need to be taught in, that you just already automatically know. You do not need to learn. God gave you the function to create in eternity. You do not need to learn that, but you do need to learn to want it. For that all learning was made. This is the Holy Spirit's use of an ability that you do not need, but that you made. Give it to Him. You do not understand how to use it. He will teach you how to see yourself without condemnation by learning how to look on everything without it. Condemnation will then not be real to you, and all your errors will be forgiven. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Okay, let's see what's going on around the world today before we close with our song. It is Curlew Day. I found, it's also Ramadan continues. Baha'i, I think, might be maybe the last day of the Baha'i celebration, Allah, but it's coming up pretty close to being ended. Not exactly sure which day. It's Lent for the Catholics and many Christians, and the Great Lent of the Orthodox. Anyway, Curlew Day, which is a Eurasian water, well, it's a land fowl, waterfowl. What kind of walks on in the water, but it's the Eurasian Numenius arguata. Maybe is it arguata or aguata? Anyway, Black Press Day, Freedom of Information Day. It's actually James Madison's birthday. Who one of the makers of the Constitution of the United States, but he was one of the foremost advocates for openness in government. I'm a major advocate for openness in government. I do not think there should be any secrets in government. I think that government should be open and honest with everybody. And that might be hard to comprehend, but with the idea of classified information. Anyway, I don't think that will continue to be. That's just not the best type of government. Goddard Day, Robert Goddard, a pioneer in rocketry. Lips Appreciation Day, Artichoke Hearts Day. Artichokes, not Jerusalem artichokes. The Cynara is the genus. Cardunculus, the regular artichokes, like the artichoke hearts. Everything You Do Is Right Day. They must have been reading A Course in Miracles, huh? We just have been talking about that. You tell your brother he's right even if he's speaking insanely. You don't do this verbally because his problem is at another level. But you do identify with his perfection that's always going on, and when he gets out of the way, it'll manifest. But you stay in touch with the part that is really there, the Holy Spirit's voice, the truth in him. Everything You Do Is Right Day. Panda Day. There's two species of panda: the giant panda, the Ailuropoda microta, and then there's the red panda, the Ailurus fulgens. They eat bamboo. I got a bunch of bamboo to plant today too. It's almost getting a little late, but I want to get it in the ground. I'm trying to get it in the ground today. No Selfies Day, St. Uro's Day. That was a fictitious Finnish-American holiday. St. Uro was fictitious. He saved Finland from grasshopper plague, was the story behind it. I don't know all the details. Young Career Action Day. And then out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got a carrot that I want to talk about that I usually plant. Our local supplier here has Danvers half-longs, they call them. But the Danvers carrot was developed in the late 1800s in the town for which it is named, Danvers, Massachusetts. A leading variety for home and market gardeners alike. This variety stores well and produces high yields even in clay and heavy soils. Its bright orange flesh is nearly coreless, sweet and tender. The uniform roots grow up to 8 inches long, 65 to 87 days, 24,000 seeds to the ounce. And that's a Docus carota, your carrot. Okay, and then out of our word for peace is, I think it's Anka K. It's from the Quechua people of Peru, and they're on the Urubamba River, which means sacred river, the Urubamba. A couple other names they use for that river are Vilcanota River and the Willacameyu River. Anyway, our word for peace is Anka K of the our Quechua brothers and sisters in Peru. Okay, are we ready to close with our song? It looks like we're doing good. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Be sure to do your 2 extended practice periods today for about 15 minutes. And you know what, that wind's kind of coming up. Just all of a sudden, let me put my foot here on this umbrella, so hopefully it'll stay put while I'm finishing up. All right, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Today is a time of special celebration. Give thanks for mercy and the love of God. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven you. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, say, the light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Should you be tempted, say to anyone who seems to pull you back into darkness, the light has come. I have forgiven you. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Okay, well, have your 2 longer 10 to 15 minute practice periods where you have that open mind and allow God to show you what vision shows you when the darkness is no more because the light has come. You're entitled to that by your forgiveness. And if anyone asks you or does something to make you feel a little bit tempted to be unforgiving, practice forgiveness. Say, the light has come. I have forgiven you. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Anka K.